Joining us now, New York Congressman Chris Collins. Congressman, do either of these bills have enough votes to pass? And then you move on to the Senate, who's killed progress before.
Well, Dagan, I believe I'm going to actually vote yes on both the Goodlatte bill and our compromise bill. The Goodlatte bill solves the ag problem, especially the issue my dairy farmers have in Western New York with undocumented workers. But I'm afraid that one may be a step too far and won't pass. The compromise bill, which the president's going to be talking with us tomorrow night at 5:30 in our conference, looks like it could have a pathway to be successful. You know, it does away with the visa lottery system, chain migration. There's $25 billion for a border wall. We've got a 6-year renewable legal status for our DACA kids that came here before age 15, before 2007. We are looking at, as Mike McCall said, fundamental changes that we've needed for the last 3 decades, something the Democrats didn't do in 2009 when they controlled all the levers. We had Obama, Pelosi, Reid, and Schumer. They did nothing on immigration in 2009. And then when Obama did the 2012 August, pandering for votes on his DACA executive order, he really didn't do the country or these DACA, now young adults, a favor. Because it was not in legislation. So Trump is doing the right thing. Let's get this done where it's supposed to get done, in Congress with laws.
Congressman, this is Jason Chaffetz. I had an honor and privilege of serving with you fairly recently. The question is really, is there anything that the Democrats could support? Because I saw President Trump go much further in reaching out, giving an olive branch to the Democrats, but I can't see anything that's up for a potential vote that would actually bring Democrats across. Is there?
No, Jason, I agree with you. Right now, this is a political issue. The Democrats want to own this issue. As I said, they could have fixed this back in 2009 when they had 60 senators, didn't even face the threat of a filibuster. They seem to ignore that in 2009 they didn't do anything on immigration, they didn't do anything on minimum wage or living wage or guns.
I know, but today, even if you do pass something in the House, is there anything that could potentially even have a chance of even coming up for a vote in the Senate? Well,
I think we may, Jason, because we've got 10 Democrat senators running in Trump states for re-election this year, and this is common sense legislation. This to me would be a 70-30 across this country to give, we're a compassionate country. The DACA, now young adults that were brought here by their parents before age 15, that have a high school education, they're law-abiding, they deserve what we're doing in this bill, something the Democrats did not do on their own, and shame on them if they want to politicize this issue to get some votes. It's wrong-minded, but let's face it, that's where Congress is today in too many situations. They voted down the Farm Bill 2 weeks ago. My God, the types of votes they're taking. They voted against extending the children's health insurance program. They're voting against anything that would make the Republicans look good this November.
But, Congressman, all eyes in this country, they're not on Washington right now. They're on the border. And those nearly 2,000 illegal immigrant children who've been separated from their families, which we know from statistics from the Department of Homeland Security. That's from mid-April to the end of May. We had the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen tweeting on the family separations, saying, quote, "We do not have a policy of separating families at the border, period. For those seeking asylum at ports of entry, we have continued the policy from previous administrations and will only separate if the child is in danger, there is no custodial relationship between family members, or if the adult has broken a law." Secretary Nielsen can defend this policy, but that Republicans, whether it's a Kellyanne Conway, the First Lady herself, former First Lady Laura Bush, they are showing even elected Republicans real uneasiness with what is going on. What do you make of this?
We addressed that as well. We addressed that in our compromise bill as well to make this very clear that we're not going to separate children from their parents, which is why this is a very good, we call it a compromise bill, because right now it looks like we need the 216, because there are some open seats, 216 Republicans. There's no indication whatsoever that Pelosi and the Democrats are going to even give us a single vote. So this is a compromise bill, but the president's behind it, It covers all the key issues, and it does give legal status.
But just from the outside looking in, being a total outsider, you're talking about something that's in legislation while people are watching, seeing video of these children on television. You've got. Right. I'm asking you to separate the two, if you can do that.
Well, we need a solution here, and this is a solution, and there's no reason we couldn't move this very quickly. And I'm happy to hear the Secretary is clarifying that this is not policy of Homeland Security, because we are a compassionate country. That's what makes us different than so many other places around the world. And whether it's giving legal status now to these DACA young adults that have been here a very long time, that's the country they grew up in, they speak our language, they went to school with our kids. But the Democrats, we need to remember, when they could have done something in '09, they did nothing. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to help anyone in this vote, including the DACA, young adults that they keep claiming they're standing with.
Congressman Morgan Ortagus is here.
Congressman, are you getting any direct support from the White House or the president? I bring this up because I think we saw last week the president make a historic negotiation in North Korea, something that foreign policy analysts we thought we would never see. So I think if we take this same president who can get Kim Jong-un to the bargaining table, can't we get a deal through Congress? Can't this president be the one person to actually break the deadlock that we've had for 10 years?
I believe he can, and he's coming to speak with us in the House tomorrow at 5:30 to talk to our conference, because we're the ones that are going to have to get it done, the Republicans. So, yes, he is getting behind this. We've seen his negotiations, whether it's with Kim Jong-un or now on trade. He's getting things done because, he is the master negotiator. And our Congress, the Republicans look up to him. He's making good on all the promises he made when he ran for election. And so I think him coming to our conference tomorrow at 5:30 is a really big deal, and will take some folks who may be on the fence and push them into the yes column.
Real quick, Congressman, but you have a trade spat with China that is hurting American businesses, whether it's the steel tariffs, putting up a hammer on locker makers in this country. Now the concern, if you take a look at these futures this morning, and I know it's of the moment, it's of the day, the markets could turn around easily by mid-morning. However, 184-point loss on the Dow futures. And investors and Americans are worried now about NAFTA falling apart. One final word from you on that.
Well, NAFTA, when we look at Canada, the way they protect their dairy, and that really impacts my dairy farmers, we should have a bilateral deal with Canada, a separate bilateral deal with Mexico. Canada and Mexico have almost nothing in common other than one's on our northern border, the other is the southern border. NAFTA was a bad deal to begin with. We need two bilateral deals. And the rest of the world, including Canada, have been taking advantage of America for the last 2 decades. Trump is putting an end to that, putting America first, thinking for our kids, the jobs here. And so we do need to renegotiate NAFTA, but it needs to be two separate deals.
But you say rip it up and do 2 separate deals.
Well, I'm not going to say, rip it up. We need 2 separate deals that should stay in place until those deals are negotiated. In the meanwhile, we need tariffs to bring them to the table, so be it.
Congressman Chris Collins, thank you so much, sir.
Good to be with you, Dave.